We put on evidence today as to whether or not that restriction on the permitted process was constitutional or not. We think that we presented a very fine case describing why it was important to be there and why it violated the Constitution, both the First and the Eighth Amendment, in order to deny the right of homeless people to participate in that. And we also presented evidence of the irreparable harm that will be done to people if they are scattered to the wind and, as one witness put it, invisibilized as a result of the construction that started. In contrast, the city, we believe, did not put on any evidence at all as to any harm that would befall anyone, either by leaving the tents right where they are or by allowing them to temporarily move to Stewart School while the judge made his decision. The judge has said that he will rule tomorrow. He's predicting at 1:30, but there's no set time.
Now, the city has said that there are options available. Whether people want to be in the shelters or not is up to them. What's your response to that?
Well, the city said a lot of things, but when they got down to it, there was really only one option which was available, which was to go to the Pacific Garden Mission, which the city admits is not a city-funded or city-regulated shelter. They also admitted that in order to stay there, you had to agree to Christian prayer. We do not think that it should be a requirement of homeless people that they buy into the Christian faith in order to be able to survive in Chicago. We have certainly, anybody who wants to go there is certainly free to do so, but we understand that shelters are not for everybody, and certainly a Christian mission where everybody has to pray as a condition of staying there is not for everybody.
And are there two things that could, possible outcomes for tomorrow? So let's say the city could either proceed or we're talking about the preliminary injunction for the court to decide about the permitting process, that First Amendment permitting process.
Right. Well, there are actually three possible outcomes tomorrow. First, the judge could say that you can proceed with the assembly that you requested at Stewart School while this case is pending. Second, he could say, we're leaving everybody right where they are while this case is pending. And the third thing he could say is we don't get any relief at all and the city can go ahead and start construction.
And I don't know if you know or any of the other folks here know, but if let's say the city does proceed with construction on Monday, what will happen to people who thought that they were going to stay at the Viaduct?
Obviously, we don't know the answer to that because we don't know what the city's going to do yet or what the judge is going to do yet. I think everybody will make their own decision as to what they should do.
Do we have any residents here?
We have no current residents here. We have some former residents here.
Okay, so then 1:30 tomorrow.
The judge has said 1:30 is his goal, but he said he might call us and tell us earlier or later.
Is there anything else you needed?
Was Andy good?
You want to say something?
Sure. You want to do that?
Hi.
Andy, go ahead and first introduce
Andy
yourself.
Fair, last name T as in Tom, Hayr. I'm with Uptown Tent City Organizers.
And you filed for the permit, applied for the permit, and for you this is you tried to make the First Amendment case here.
Well, First Amendment and Eighth Amendment case, and I think the Eighth Amendment case is what, from a legal standpoint, really motivated us in sensitive organizers. Is that people need a place to stay. They need a place to stay that has the same kind of visibility, the community, the security that comes from that community, and basically the city's position, as outlined today, is screw you. We really don't care what happens to you. You can go off the Pacific Garden Mission, as some of our people have noted. If you're gay, if you're non-Christian, or what have you, you're not their version of Christianity. You get booted out early in the morning because you refuse to participate in the religious services, which is a condition of staying at Pacific Garden Missions. And a number of the homeless folks who testified today said they specifically rejected Pacific Garden Missions for that reason. The fact is that the city has chosen to spend lots of money on attorneys, lots of money on police, lots of money on all sorts of things except for housing its most vulnerable residents. We not only have the folks living down at the Viaducts right now, we have the Wilson Men's Club Hotel, which is slated to close, which will kick 150 people out that are currently housed right there. We barely saved the North Side Supportive Services last year, no thanks to the efforts of the aldermen, but only thanks to community pressure. This battle is not over with, regardless of what decision comes down tomorrow, because we're going to have more homeless people. I mean, it's sickening that we have to try to convince a judge through legal arguments that people have got a basic right to not be criminalized for homelessness. We have had a city that rejected our first permit by saying there were alleged safety concerns, unspecified, and saying, oh, you can't have a permit for 6 months, and then turn around and rejected a second permit with no safety concerns and no problem with 6 months for a permit. Clearly, the city has tailored its arguments about just kicking people out by any means necessary. And that's what is so maddening about this, is that people are vulnerable. People are facing real life situations where they're already in a tense situation because they're homeless, and the fact that we have to go to federal court to force the city to try to do the right thing is incredibly frustrating.
So barring a permanent housing solution, moving the tent cities from the Viaducts to Stewart School, that seems to be the favorable option, or the alternative that you're presenting for during the construction.
Yes, people stayed there without incident for several months, and there's plenty of space for people to stay there. That's the whole point. They could keep the community, which is far better than Pacific Garden Nations, that serves people far better than many shelters. People in various situations, whether post-traumatic stress syndrome or being in a crowded place with a lot of other people of the same gender or whatever, can be very stressful. That is why, even though many people have been housed out of the Uptown Tent Cities, people continue to go there because they are getting something they do not get in the shelters. They get the security, they don't have to worry about the possessions being stolen, they don't have to worry about bed bugs. Different sex couples that do not have children can stay there without being separated and worrying about their spouse if they're separated. So there's a reason why the tent cities, even though according to the city they moved out some 55 people way after their deadline for getting 75 people out, why there's practically as many people there now as ever. And with things like Wilson Men's Club closing really soon, it's probably just going to be many, many more. So there's an urgent need for a place for people to stay.